Welcome to the Success Journey Show. Let's travel together through the lives of individuals on the road to success.
Hey, what's going on, travelers? It's Ricky Venters and Marlon Madden, and we're back with you for the Success Journey Show. Man, we have a special guest here with us today, none other than Renee Montgomery.
Yes.
Yeah, how you doing, Renee?
Said it right. I'm good. It's hit or miss with my last name.
Listen, I'm the worst with names.
Are you?
I was just about to say that.
Say it again. What did you say it was?
Renee Montgomery.
Okay, yeah.
Here we go. I practiced like 5,000 times on the way down.
See, that's what you should do, though. If you knew you was going to be saying my name, so that's perfect.
Exactly. I would say, I'm going to be honest, but for a quick second, it slipped. The pronunciation. I better say it right.
Oh,
anyway,
okay.
We got it.
Because I was gonna post that part of the interview. That's the only part. That's the only part I post. Like, here we go with this.
Yeah, here we go. So Renee, tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, so I'm going into my 11th season in the WNBA. Playing for the Atlanta Dream. Kind of traveled a little bit in the WNBA. I played for Connecticut for about 5 years. Played for Seattle. Played for Minnesota, where I won 2 championships. I played in I went to school at UConn. I also played there. And I'm a UConn fan. Actually, my Huskies are about to play in about 30 minutes. So let's go Huskies, we go. Yes.
You're going to be timing us on this.
Yeah, we are on. You are on the clock. But, I'm like a UConn failure because everybody always asks. They don't ask if you won a championship. They say, how many did you win? And they're so disappointed when I'm like, I won 1. They're like, just one? They're like, just one though?
That's easy.
I'm so proud of my one. Yeah, I'm like, yeah. So I'm a Husky. I bleed blue, and I was born and raised in Charleston. Well, St. Albans, West Virginia. Okay. But I say Charleston because sometimes people don't even know West Virginia. We're our own state. So St. Albans, West Virginia. But I was born and raised in Charleston. So I actually went backwards in my life. So I started here and then moved all the way back to born and raised. But 3 championships in high school.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right. A question I want to ask you about just you said you went through different teams in the WNBA. The mindset, because I know there has to take a mindset when you're leaving from one to go to another, because they have a different setup or whatever. What's the kind of mindset you have to have in order to go there and execute at your highest potential?
It's difficult. Most of my transitions were at the end of a season, so I got to start and do training camp and, get the system in my brain and figure out the coaching staff and all of that. But one time when I got traded from Seattle to Minnesota, I got traded mid-season. So the team was already had a system. They already had a rotation. They already had, their thing. And I'm basically coming in here like trying to figure out how I can fit in. That was difficult because I don't like being behind in any part. I'm like a over-prepared. I study too much. I'm over-prepared. So for me to come into a situation where I'm basically forced to be unprepared and not know what's going on and being a point guard, that's even more difficult.
Because you're running the show.
Yeah, so I'm supposed to run the show and I don't know what the show is. So that makes it a little difficult.
Oh, man.
So with those transitions, right? So, you never know how long you're going to be with an individual team. Right. But when you get to that spot, you're like, hey, I'm just going to be who I am and give it all out on the floor every single night. There's a lot of students, a lot of kids that are growing up and say they want to play in sports, well, not just sports, but just life in general, where they struggle with that transitional parts in their life. You went through your story and you said, hey, I'm here. I played on a couple of teams here. I moved from college and high school, and I came from a place where I'm not nowhere near West Virginia right now. So what type of person do you have to be? Talking about transitions that you've gotten used to transitioning from different teams. You say you're a person that needs to have everything on point. Tell us a little bit about your routine and how you get yourself comfortable.
Yeah, so my routine, going into a whole new team, you have to understand that whatever you were doing for your last team, you can't come into that new team and be like, this is how I am, this is what I do, and this is what's going to happen. It's not going to work like that. So you got to go kind of see what this team has and where you can find your niche. They have a point guard that, she's aggressive and she gets to the paint a lot. So let me make sure that I'm finding people on the outside, or so you got to kind of find where you fit in. And I think that works in all aspects of life. You can't just go into your new job or your new situation, or you do anything and just expect exactly whatever you were doing at your last job is going to work at that job. Correct. So I just always try to take the mindset that I try to basically case out the situation. What's going on here? Where can I fit in? What attributes do I have that this thing needs? Whatever this machine needs to work. So I mean, a lot of times I was on a team in Minnesota where shooting is like one of my stronger suits. And I was on a team in Minnesota where shooting was their strong suit. We had Maya Moore, Simone Augustus, we had some snipers. We had some knockdown snipers on the team. So like, yes, they still wanted my shooting, but I had to figure out something else I can do. So I wanted to really try to pick up my defense. Because, okay, we have a point guard who, like I said, she's the vocal leader. She's all kinds of different leaders. And I'm the backup point guard. So something I can do when I come in the game is turn up the tempo, pick up the pressure. And although it's not something I was doing on my last team so much, it's what I need to do for this team.
Okay.
Love it. So you're saying you got to be pretty much comfortable and understanding who you are.
Yeah, you got to know what your assets are so that wherever you are, you can find a way to apply them.
Love it. So now that you have those characteristics, you gain those different things. Now into regular life, because I know a lot of people see athletes and they just think it's all that. And the wave is changing that athletes are thinking outside the box, not just for hey, I'm going to be in the WNBA forever. Hey, after the WNBA, there is life.
Yeah.
So with those transitions that you've been doing to the teams and how you have to change the mindset, how have you been preparing for life after the WNBA?
Kind of the same way. So, like I told you, I'm one of those people that I don't mind doing the work and preparing. So after this, actually, I've been taking acting classes and everything because I'm not going to just sit on the fact that, oh, she's a WNBA player. People will recognize you maybe and then give you some roles. I want to go into the situation prepared. I don't want to be on set and the director asks me to do something. I have no idea what he's talking about. You know what I mean? So I want to, everybody always thinks, well, I'm sure I could act. Everybody goes in the house and they're in the front of the mirror and they try to do a little something I can do that. Yeah, it's not that simple. So I didn't want to be in a situation where if I was blessed with an opportunity to basically spoil it. Okay. So I've been taking acting classes and basically starting at the ground floor and trying to figure out, the terms, how to prepare for acting, how to get into my roles, and different things like that. I've also been hosting, just trying to build a resume because once I'm done playing basketball, the only thing on my resume is championships. And a lot of times people don't care about that when it comes to other professions. I'm proud of my championships while those are great, but Tyler Perry's going to be like, yeah, okay. Great. So what do you want me to do with you?
You have them championships, but you can't.
Right. Love and basketball has already been made, baby. What do you want? So that's just me just trying to, so now on my resume, I can say, I have a short film on Amazon Prime. I was in a feature film. So now I have something that when I do get that big meet, hey, Tyler Perry, if you're watching, hey, I'm here. But when I do get that big meet, I'm ready and I'm prepared and I have some type of past experience that they can go off of.
Yeah. Man, I love it.
I'm hearing everything you're saying, and the thing that's really resonating with me is prepared.
Yeah.
Be prepared. Whatever it is, be prepared. And what kind of gave you that type of attitude or even that mindset of that I just need to be prepared? Did it start when you were young, when you were a child? Was it all the way through high school? Were you that one that, oh man, I got to be prepared. I got to do this, I got to do that for class, whatever it may be. Where did that start?
I'm organized.
I would say A type.
Yeah.
Trust me, I can tell from this whole.
I like things to be X, Y, Z. Yeah, you guys with coordinating everything, you should know. I told them I'll be in the lobby at 8:15. What time did I get off the elevator? 8:14. Yeah, I'm there. I'm very organized, and it started when I was younger. I came from a very disciplined household in the sense that my Diddy, which is my dad, Snook and Diddy, mom and dad. He's an engineer, so every morning he writes a to-do list, and
he's a ninja.
Oh, okay, so you get it. So every morning he writes a to-do list, he marks them off. If something didn't finish on the list, it carries over to tomorrow's list. My Snook is a retired college professor. Okay. So sister's a doctor, other sister's an accountant. So just so you know, my family, it's not a game. So I came from watching them and how they moved. And, as kids, you emulate whatever you see. I would say at the very least, I like to be organized and things to be set. And I feel like I'm more comfortable when I'm prepared. So I like to be in my most comfortable state at all times. And when I'm prepared, it gives me more confidence. When I'm prepared, I feel more comfortable going into the situation. So I always try to give myself the best chance possible to be successful, and that's being prepared.
So you're engineer.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. And I'm military.
Oh, okay. So you get it. So you get it. I'm out of whack if things are not like organized. I'm like, what are we doing here, guys? Okay,
I'll tell you, just this evolution here, like it had us kind of like.
Yeah, you get it. With the interaction, so y'all don't know, the interactions was we were trying to figure out basically where we were going to film and everything. And I told Paul, I was like, Paul, tell him I'm going to be there 8:15, and they're going to have it set up and ready, and we're going to start when I get to just the background of what they're talking about. So I like things set and figured out. But no, you guys look, this is beautiful. So y'all did it. Y'all did that. You did that.
So what happens is when you have that mindset of being prepared. Right, and this is why I'm hoping the travelers and listeners, we call all of our listeners travelers because they're traveling on a journey
with you all,
with us, and we're traveling with them to their success.
Hey, travelers! Oh, hey!
So when you are prepared, when things don't go as you planned, you're already in a state of mind where you can handle it and shift better.
Big time,
right?
Big time.
And so talk about that, and I don't want to talk too much about basketball, but giving the basketball examples and our basketball player analogy, talk about how being a point guard where you can have a play.
Yeah.
It's never gonna go. But like when you get out there and put the blows and you going.
So that's the thing about being prepared. When you know something front and back, if something goes wrong, like you know how to get to the next point.
Correct.
Even if you can't go A to B, you know how to get to C by going a roundabout way because you know C's there. Like I just think like if you're not prepared, as soon as the first thing goes wrong, you're lost because you barely knew what you were doing in the first place. Being a point guard, things rarely go as we imagined because we got the 2 guard over here that forgot to play, the post player that's in the wrong spot.
Don't tell nobody.
Yeah, the post player that's in the wrong spot. Somebody's in my spot, so I'm going to kind of shift over. So as a point guard, you got to just make it do. So you see the post players there. You just tell them, all right, just stay there. You tell another person, come give me a screen. You have to try to figure it out to kind of get the concept of the play. So I would think that I don't have a choice but to know that. Like, if you are a point guard and you don't know and you're not prepared, your ship is going to sink. Like, it's going to go down quick. And that's why sometimes, like, when you see good point guards and the offense runs so smooth and it looks like the point guards aren't doing anything, that shows you how good of a point guard they are.
Correct.
When the offense is so smooth that it looks like, man, anybody could run it. No, that's because that point guard is running it.
Yeah. Hey, I'm telling you, and a lot of people. So I was a recruiter. Ricky always laughs, but that goes back to this, right? Mm-hmm. And when I went out there, and I tell people, basketball kind of puts you in a mindset, not just for on the court, but for life.
Yeah, I agree.
And if a lot of people, even travelers, kids out there, would take that concept of just the hard work, and that's how you could separate people, that hard work and dedication. Hey, you might have a nice jump shot naturally,
right?
But if you work on it, you're even more killer, like you said, be a sniper.
Yeah.
So with you going into the acting, what kind of roles you think like you want to do?
I know this is interesting for me because I really want to be in like intense roles and some actiony roles. But like comedy is like I think it's gonna be my thing. Even in my acting and improv classes, they're always giving me like, my teachers are like, oh, you're gonna kill this like, and they give me like lines and like, you're gonna kill this, and they're always comedy lines. So look, I'm glad that people laugh at me, hee hee ha ha. That's funny, like great, like I'm glad. But it would be, I would like to do I would love to do rom-com because romantic comedies, because I'm into those myself. But I would want to be one of those people that like. You'd be surprised when you see me in another role and be like, wow, I didn't think she would be able to do that role, but she killed it. So that's kind of where I want to be, like where I'm usually, the funny guy, or girl, of course, but it's the term. But I would hope that I would be that. And then when somebody sees me in a serious role, they're like, wow, I would have not expected that. Like, so that's kind of where I want to live.
Yeah, not to be pigeonholed, like certain actors, you see them, they could only be a cop in a movie.
Oh yeah, there are like look, Law and Order, those people like forever. I'm sorry, forever they are the detectives. These are their stories. I'm sorry, that's it. Like they've been on 20 years. I don't see you as nothing else.
Even Ice-T.
That's it. But you know what? Look, don't let me get a role where they want me for 20 years.
Shoot, I'll take that.
I'll take every check you give me.
When's the next one starting?
Season 21. Who am I? Oh, okay. Got it. Now, you ain't got to prepare. You are that person at the end of the day now. Like, you just got to give me the lines. I'm her.
You are off the
right. At a certain point, I started interrogating people in the street. I'm going to try to arrest people.
You're not shooting right now.
Yeah. I mean, I'm her. She is me. Like, So that's what I would hope to do. Like Kevin Hart, I think he's trying to he's actually trying to branch out.
Yes.
I think he did a certain movie. I don't know the name of it, but where he's helping a guy that's I think paraplegic or something.
That was a legit movie.
Did you see it?
I forgot the name of it. I did.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
And just the transition, like you're saying.
That's what I'm trying to say. So like, I mean, and even with him, I'm sure there's some comedy in there because he's not gonna. He's gonna have to. But even roles like that where you slowly transition and let people see, okay, I have some more layers to me. So that's kind of the concept I want to do because I don't want to look. If something works for me and everybody sees me a certain way, I'm going to try to go with that because that's where I can be successful. But once I kind of have done that and people see, okay, you can act, I would like to do what Kevin Hart's doing. And he branched out to that film. I wish we knew the name of it, but I don't know the name.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry. My bad, dog. Hey, Kevin, if you see this, don't charge it to my head and not my heart.
You know him?
No, I don't.
Not yet.
Hey, if you believe it, you can achieve it.
Okay. Speak it into existence. I'm all about it. All right.
Just a little bit, talking about off season. I know I was watching you were interviewed a little while ago, and you mentioned something that was very intriguing to me. You said, man, this is the first off season that I'm not going overseas. Like, what is that like? Like, what is...
It's crazy. Like, I'm like a real human. And I say that in a sense that we as WNBA players, we play year round. So we have usually our contract, the overseas contract will literally state 10 days after your last WNBA game, you are to report in whatever country it is.
Military.
So it's, like it's a set time. It's not like, if we end early, I get extra time, or if we end late. No, it's 10 days after whatever game and they start the clock. They're not playing. And so this year I had made the decision that I'm just not going to go overseas because I'm like, you know what? I want to work on life after basketball. I want to have something on my resume other than basketball things. And I had no idea how that was going to go. Like, I didn't have a plan. The only plan I had was that I'm going to take acting classes. Like, that's the only thing I had planned, and I knew that I can do. Even though there was a wait list to get into the class, so I had to, like, beg and plead, you know? But that's all I knew. And then this off season, it was like a blitz to me, honestly. I didn't know what was going to happen, but I just kind of was optimistic.
Correct.
And took this leap of faith. And man, I was getting booked for stuff left and right. And I didn't even, it's such a blessing. I didn't even it was kind of like a situation where you didn't know what was going to happen, but while it was happening, you was like, I was meant to be right here. Like, you know what I mean? You don't think it was a coincidence. It wasn't by chance. It wasn't coincidence. It was just like, you know what, this is crazy. So for me, and when I even say booked is basketball stuff too, like the Memphis Grizzlies asked me to come to one of their clinics. They did a clinic with 400 girls. It was a huge clinic, but just different stuff all over that it was just like, man, even getting a role in this feature film that's coming out. It's an indie film, so it's not going to necessarily come out on theaters, but
we're going to watch it on Netflix. We're going to watch it.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, just these roles and these situations that I've been able to be a part of, it's been crazy. I'm enrolled in the Harvard School of Business right now currently. And that is kicking my butt. I'm not gonna lie. It's a lot of reading. I'm on my midterm right now. We're studying Maria Sharapova. But yeah, it's just different things that I didn't even know were in the plan. Monday, I'm heading to the draft to speak with the incoming players. Okay. There's like so many different things that I've done. It's just kind of crazy. I went to the NFL PA's conference, like just so many different things, and I'm like, how? I'm not gonna question it, but I'm just thankful.
That came all as a result. You saying no, I'm not going.
Yeah.
I was gonna sit back and just live out.
See what happens.
Wow. Yeah.
And a lot started happening. The Hawks. Let me not say the Hawks have taken me as a part of their family.
Wow.
Yes, just 2 days ago, I just did a clinic for them. Every clinic they have, almost every clinic they have, they invite me to be a part of it.
Wow.
And I always say this because it's always easy to invite somebody to be a part of something, and it's more difficult when you say, and we're going to pay you. You know what I mean? Like, everybody will invite you. If you want to come for free, come. You know what I mean? Like, that's always the easy But all this stuff I'm talking about were paid things. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like that was the pleasant surprise because I didn't even, I had enough money saved that I knew I would be okay. So I wanted to be able to just move how I wanted to move and not have to worry about a check.
Correct,
but then the check started coming. So that's why I said it was a blessing and surprise. And I'm like, okay, I didn't plan for this, but I'm thankful for it.
Yeah. Now, and I know you said you're talking to the incoming class for the draft and everything like that. Now, of course, we know the disparity between the pays for the WNBA versus the NBA. I don't want you to get in trouble, so I'm not going to ask you about that. But how do you, when you talk to those, the incoming, the rookies, how do you help them prepare and tell them that, hey, you're going to have to step up your game in terms of not only like branding yourself to make sure that you can, excel or pick up those extra checks?
So the thing about it is, it's so, even now, when I came into the league, overseas was booming. It was like, we were making really good money overseas. Obviously, I'm not talking about NBA, WNBA, but I'm talking about just for the WNBA, we were making really good money overseas. And then overseas kind of hit a recession. So now you see a lot of players where overseas, overseas helped me, get a house and car, get my parents a car, and it's not the same type of money anymore. But what I would tell the players is to really focus on like you, in a sense. It was a shock to me because coming from college, you might play a team where there were 2 All-Americans on the team, maybe.
Correct.
And the pros, every player on the roster was an All-American in college. So you're playing like an all-star team every day. There's only 12 teams and 144 spots. And there's a lot more talented players in those 144. So every player on the team, even if they're not playing, is a savage. Like, they can go. They just can't get the minute. There's just not enough minutes. So the main thing I would tell people is like, you got to be ready every night. In college, you might have a big game once a month. When I was in college, it was a lot of big games, but you might have a big game once a month now, or in college. In the pros, 2 games a week, you're going to have to be guarding a prolific shooting guard, an all-Olympian point guard, just everything. So my main thing would be like, you got to focus on your confidence because it'll shake you. It'll shake you because the games are going to keep rolling. So if you're in a slump, if you're doing this or that, you're not going to have coaches like, hey, are you okay? You okay? Yeah, we love you. You're great. Your scholarship's still here. No, you can get fired. You can get fired now. Now you're playing with somebody's job. So you got to you got to keep your confidence. And like I go back to the best way to keep confidence is to be prepared. That's why I always my confidence usually never gets shaken. I've been in shooting slumps before. I actually, what's crazy is last season, I was in a shooting slump and I came out of the shooting slump by breaking the WNBA record and making 7 threes and a half. So you know what I mean? It's like I was in a shooting slump, but I didn't even know it. So this is what's crazy. I didn't even know. My coaching staff and them, they didn't say anything about it, which thanks to them, they gave me the green light, so it meant green, whether I'm shooting red or not. But afterwards, I'm like, they're like, whoa, yeah, we knew it was coming. I'm like, what are you talking about? They was like, yeah,
you're using the slump.
Yeah, I was like, really? I was like, oh yeah, I did miss a couple of shots the past couple games. They was like, it's been about 5 games. It was like, I was like, but I literally didn't even know. I knew I wasn't making as many as I used to, but I didn't know it was as bad as it was. In a sense that how I evaluate my game is how I run the offense or how my team is playing. And we were on a win streak. So you know what I mean? So to me, I'm on cloud 9, we're on a win streak, and I don't even shoot a lot of shots, period, anyway. So I shoot about 6 to 10 shots maximum a game. So I was thinking we're rolling, and okay, I didn't really score a lot, but our offense is looking good, boy. You hear me? We on fire, And then all of a sudden I found out I was in a whole slump. So there's that. Yeah, whole time slump. Yeah.
I'll tell you something. So we play ball, right? So I hold myself as this basketball player, right?
Why you say it like that?
No. Right? So I go to LA Fitness, and one night this kid came in, and let me tell you, you had to pick him up once they passed the ball in from the other side. This kid was just shooting from
Steph Curry range.
Steph Curry range.
Was it going in though?
It was going in.
Oh,
and at a shot that I was like, oh, that's not gonna hit. So and in my mind, I was thinking, yo, what if I was guarding Steph Curry?
Yeah.
What would happen to me?
He dropped 50.
Yeah.
I'll tell you how the story is.
Because a lot of regular people, we always think
I can lock him up. Oh, you have no idea how often we get that. Yeah.
I tell you though, I watch WWE come out. My wife plays ball, and I see some of them, and I'm like, but then I'm like, when I take her to the gym and somebody's playing around with her, we rocking them.
Yeah,
I'm
of course.
Yo, don't play with them. I'm telling you. But I like the fact what I like about what I'm getting the sense from you that because of you being so prepared, or you're actually planning, you have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
And what they say is if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Yeah.
So you have a plan. So you're seeing moves a couple ahead. Now I'm not talking on the court.
Yeah.
I'm talking about in life.
Yeah,
and I could tell that you have a good foundation being there, your family. You said one of your siblings a doctor.
Yeah,
and
my
one's
sister's a pharmacist, an accountant. Yeah.
And accountant. So you have people that are around you that are also there supporting you, but at the same time, you're thinking of things ahead. And I want travelers to just understand that you put yourself in a position that you said, hey, I have a dream, drive, discipline, and diligence. And what I'm going to do is this off season, I'm not going to go and do what I usually do.
Right.
I'm going to get outside my comfort zone a little bit and ensure that I can get it. I like that because
it's hard to turn down a check. I'm telling you, that's hard.
Yeah, I know.
That guaranteed money, it's hard. That's a real leap of faith when you're sacrificing something.
Exactly.
It is, but it's going to pay off in the long run.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to
invest in yourself. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I love it.
And to talk about investing in yourself, I've been noticing, I started following you on Instagram ever since I know we're going to be doing this. And I would say it this way, not to say I was following you before.
He only following me because look, you can see what she's up to.
Let me be real. I mean,
it's not I'm just playing.
So when I saw the name, so my family's a big UConn fan.
Yeah.
They're from
Shout out to my Huskies.
Yeah, I know. Right?
We're good on time.
So I remember them always saying, "Oh, my uncle, especially Renee Montgomery."
Oh, okay.
So then when the post said, it did not click until after I said, "Oh, Renee Montgomery." But anyway, so I've been noticing that you've been doing a lot more, even like charity stuff. You mentioned stuff and everything.
Hence why we're down here.
Yeah. And you have a foundation that you're getting going, and you started and everything. Tell us a little bit about that.
Thank you for asking about that. My foundation is called the Renee Montgomery Foundation. It sounds so vain. It was so weird to me for it to be that. But it's in a sense that there's a lot that comes along with my name, in a sense of how I've carried myself throughout my career, and people know that like things about me that are not necessarily skills. So my coaches, and the reason that every team I've been on, they wanted me back, and it's because like I always bring positivity and high energy everywhere I go. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. It doesn't matter if I'm here with you guys. I'm going to be here. I'm going to be present. If I'm at practice and I'm tired, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to be upbeat and positive. So when I was talking to my family and everything, and I'm thinking of a name, and I wanted to get creative with the name, and they was like, no, you should make the name your name so that they'll know that your foundation is going to also be high energy. It's going to be positive, and it's going to represent the things you represent. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of how I went with my name. And the thing I really want to do with my foundation is be able to have people experience things that they necessarily wouldn't have been able to financially. So, a lot of foundations, they do great things, and I love it. They might give you coats, they might give you food, they might, and sometimes they'll even take the kids to the game. I want to bring families so that families that are struggling, every family, families that in the household it's stressful. When you're struggling, it's stressful. Yep. So I want to have a way for basically people to get away from their reality, even just for a couple hours. So I'm having, I would say about 6 games so far where I'm bringing groups of people, families to my games. One of them, so the Boys and Girls Club is why I'm here for this Josh Norman celebrity game, but they're also sponsoring 3 games with my foundation. So one of the games, I'm chartering a bus from West Virginia, because in West Virginia we have no pro teams.
Correct.
None. So a lot of them have never even been to a pro sporting event. And I'm calling it my fans and family appreciation. And I'm chartering a bus of 55 people. They'll come up on June 22nd, June 23rd. They'll watch my game. I know. Get on the bus.
Get on the bus. Who are you?
But so no, that's what I'm trying to do. Just expose people to women's basketball. Because that's just something that people, it's still up and coming. I mean, the league isn't that old, and just expose more people to it, but also just to let people have a getaway. And that's kind of where I want to live, with just giving people experiences. I think we're going to try to go to the aquarium with a group of families, but I'm just going to try to do a lot of things where people can just escape their reality, even just for a little while.
Love it.
And that's selflessness. Now, I'm just going to ask it because I know I could get the feeling, but I want them to understand that selflessness. Where did it come from to come with that? Because a lot of people, they get trapped in themselves. Yeah. Especially, hey, I'm trying to do this for me. But where did that selflessness come from?
And this is another thing. There's all kinds of. I've been wanting to do this for a while. Just from the experiences I've seen, where with being in the WNBA. We do a lot of events where we are meeting and greeting a lot of kids, and even their parents afterwards will come up to me and be like, thank you so much. Like, I'm glad to see that he got to have a good time today, or I'm glad to see that she got to have a good time today. And then you can still see that she had a rough day. You know what I mean? So that's where it kind of triggered in my mind, where like after the parents would come up to me and they would be like, yeah, they told me all about it and it was great. I wish I could have seen them there. You know what I mean? And it triggered in my mind, like, you know what? Why can't they be there too? But I get why a lot of people do, the boys and girls only. I get it because it makes sense. But that's where I kind of like it triggered in my mind, just the parents coming up to me, talking to me about it. And I'm like, I bet it would be so much better if, like, when they all got home, they can talk about the whole day together and be like, oh, did you see that? And the mom was like, I saw that. Where they can experience it together. And that's a memory now that they can have. So just that to me just triggered in my mind because I felt like, well, I can, like, it's something that I can do. You know what I mean? And when you can do something, I always believe this. Like, if there's something that you can do to help somebody that can't do it otherwise, like, I typically try to do it.
I love it.
You've been listening to the Success Journey Show. You can check us out on our social media on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Also on our website, thesuccessjourneyshow.com. Enjoy the rest of the show.
In light of what happened with Nipsey Hussle, with the death, rest in power to him and condolences to his family. Just seeing people that want to help people and they want to change their environment, it's very, like, it gives me a good feeling that there's still people out there that want to help others.
Oh man, and he started a fire. He started a fire in a sense that, like, you can literally see a shift.
Correct.
In the way, first of all, me personally, I don't know if I can remember. This is even when, like, let's say Prince died, even when some icons died. I don't necessarily know if I ever remember this much of a response.
Correct.
To somebody passing away. It was shocking, and honestly, I'm not going to even sit here and lie. I didn't even know he was doing all that he was doing until, like, after he passed away. And I'm seeing all these posts about it. And I'm seeing all these interviews about what he's doing. And I'm seeing all these people that are saying he was paying for this and this and this. And he was just doing it because he wanted to do it and help the community. Right. And to me, I think that speaks even more volumes when somebody's literally just doing it just because that he knows it needs to be done. And I think he started a fire. You can just see how communities, like, people are saying the marathon is going to continue.
Correct.
And you can just see that, and the marathon is people helping people. And that fire he lit in people, like, he has to be smiling. Like, you can only dream that people would view you the way people are viewing Nipsey in death. Like, you could only dream that, like, you would have this much of a response or this much of an outpour of emotions. And man, I honestly didn't know. Shame on me, because now I know. But he's been a blessing to so many people, and he didn't even need the accolades for it.
Correct. And it also goes to show, never judge a book by its cover.
Never
judge a book by its cover.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful what he's doing.
So, you have a lot of players, a lot of youth, a lot of students that are growing up, and listening that you have siblings that they went a totally different route. And I just want to hear the dynamics too about that.
I'm the loser of the family. I don't have a master's. I was so happy to tell everybody I'm enrolled in the Harvard School of Business. Like all of you educators, intellectuals, no, it's great. It's good to have that.
Absolutely, but you have a lot of these females that are playing, even males, whatever, just getting into sports, whatever it is, going to school. Like, those that can't attend some of your sessions when you're going and talking to them, what are some things that you can leave with them now that you would like to share based on what you've experienced over the last going into your 11th season?
Yeah, 11th season.
In the WNBA. But you've been doing this
for a long time. Yeah. This is not new to me. I would just say a lot of times people never want to start something because they feel like they're too far behind, or they're not as good as someone else, or maybe they're not even as talented. And I'm not even talking sports. I'm talking in anything. Like, sometimes people don't even start working out because they feel like they're too heavy to even start. Like, you know what I mean? People are like, what's the point in even starting? So for me, you wanted to leave your jacket on. but for me, I always I'm 32 and trying to start a career in acting and hosting and entertainment. It is scary. I mean, and I know a lot of people, you get comfortable in your lifestyle. I mean, I was comfortable playing basketball. It's what I know. It's what I know I'm successful at. It's scary, but sometimes you just really have to. There's never going to be the time like, oh yes, this is the perfect time. I was waiting on this moment. That's not going to happen. Like this was not the perfect time for me not to go overseas. Like the bills were still coming, and not that I want people to be homeless or anything like that, but I prepared myself for this moment in the sense that I was very frugal about my lifestyle leading up to this and making sure that, all right, if I don't get one dime this off season, I'll still be okay to pay my bills and all of that. So I just think that sometimes there's never going to be the right time. Like there's just never going to be the right time, but do it anyway.
Yeah.
Do it
you
anyway.
mentioned something key. I know Marlon's probably thinking about it.
Yeah.
And you said, you set this whole preparing thing.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Knowing that, you set yourself up so that you're okay in the off season. How do you do that when you're around a lot of people that is more so like you're a celebrity?
Yeah.
People have that image of celebrity where you have to have this, you have to have that,
Yes.
you got to go to this restaurant, you got to wear this.
They buy a Phantom, we buy a Phantom.
Yeah. It's like, how do you...
It's the now I'm good. that's my,
Now I'm good.
Now I'm good. Oh y'all, hey, we're about to go out to eat at Ruth Chris. Now I'm good. Thank you. But for real, it's just sometimes you have to make sacrifices. Did I want to go to Ruth Chris? Maybe. Did I want to go out? Probably not. So, but it's just sometimes like you might have to pass up on the fun right now because you have a plan. And like a lot of people, it's hard for people to say no. It's hard for people to, oh man, but I really want it. Like you don't need it, but you really want it. So I'm gonna get it because I need to treat myself. You know what? I've been stressed. I need to treat myself. Like we find ways to validate why we're being undisciplined, honestly. And I just don't find ways. I'm good.
You're good.
I'm good.
Yeah. Locked in. I like that.
I'm good.
Hey. And it shows 11th season.
Yeah.
Breaking records.
I'm good.
I'm gonna try that. Next time you ask me, say, "No, I'm good."
Yeah. And then they keep talking, "No, I'm good." I'm good. Thank you, though. I'm good.
Yeah. Being fine with it.
Fine.
So, one last question that we like to ask all of our guests, and we usually like to say, "Hey, can you go back to when you first picked up the basketball?" I don't know how young you were. You about 2 years old. That may be too far back.
No, I can remember. I know where you're going with it. So I'm rolling.
When you were young, just getting into it, the frustrating days, the great days, all that kind of stuff. Know where you are now, which was probably just a dream that you had, not even know how it was going to come to fruition. What would you say to that young Renee?
It's crazy because all that stuff you said was so not me. I actually was not very good when I started playing basketball. And that was, and I didn't just pick up the ball and was like, this is me. No, it didn't work out that way. Sounds good. But that's kind of what started me on this be prepared, be disciplined thing because I was not very good, but my Diddy, he worked with me so much, and we worked so much. Yeah,
I'm gonna tell my daughter to call me my Diddy.
Snook and Diddy, Snook and Diddy. But my Diddy, he worked with me so much that I went from being, the player that came off the bench that, maybe somebody knew I was in the game or maybe not, to like they knew when I checked out. They knew it was the time to go on a run. So just that mindset of how I knew where I started and I knew where I ended up when I was young. WNBA wasn't my dream because it wasn't even here until I was 10.
That's right.
So my dream was to go to a university and get my college paid for. That was like my dream. Then when I was 10, I'm like, wait, hold up now.
Wait a minute,
I might have a whole job out here. But even then, it wasn't even really still in my mindset because like it was hard in West Virginia because it's not like we don't have the media coverage. Even in West Virginia, we didn't really get a lot of the media coverage. We don't have we didn't have a lot of, so you would hear about you see what I'm saying? Yes, my family. No, but we didn't have a lot. You know what I mean? So it was like, you would hear about the California girls, you would hear about the New York girls, and they're on, they're on the cover of certain magazines and stuff. And I'm in West Virginia, like, well, how are they going to see me? You know what I mean? Like, how are they even going to know I'm here? So, I started playing AAU. Yeah. My team ended up being really good. I had another good player, Alexis Hornbuckle, on our team, and she ended up going to Tennessee. And playing in WNBA. But, we started and it was funny because when we were on our AAU circuit, people would probably see on the West Virginia Tornadoes and be like, oh,
Who the
God.
heck?
You know, I mean, I'm sure they probably was like, what are we about to play? You know? Automatic go. You know? This girl's out here. No, but, you know, we started to make some noise. Like, you know, and then and it started to be like, what is up with these West Virginia girls? You know, it started like to get some buzz. All of a sudden, you know, we started seeing some coaches sitting on our sidelines.
Okay.
And we started seeing like, okay, we're doing something here. That's when AAU Nationals was like the mecca.
Yeah.
So we was in AAU Nationals making noise, runners up and all this and that. And then all of a sudden, look, we're on the map. So then when we started getting on the map is when I started really thinking like, wow, okay, I can go to the school I want to go to. Still didn't know where I was going to go. And then it came to the point where I could literally choose whatever school I wanted to go to. And that's when like I started to really, first of all, be thankful for my family because like we no longer had family vacations. It was like, what is Renee's tournament? And my sisters never cared. Like, you know what I mean? That's another thing about our household. It's like, whatever somebody's doing, it's like we're the number one fans. When I told everybody I was going to start acting and not going overseas, and they was like, "Oh, can't wait to watch your first film." Like it wasn't even like, "Are you going to be in something?" It was like, "Can't wait to watch your first film." And that type of like support, I'm like, "Yeah, because I'm gonna be in something." Like you know, like it was like they pumped me up. But yeah, it just started to where like once I was able to choose the school I could go to, which obviously y'all know I chose my Huskies. That's when I started to realize like, okay, I think I can make a living out of this.
Yeah. Hey, I want to first and foremost thank you for showing us some love and even coming on our show. Paul, thank you.
Paul, shout to PG Sports.
Yeah, PG Sports.
He's making moves.
Yeah,
absolutely.
He's making moves.
Solid guy.
He is. He's making moves. Like, let me just say this real quick about this. So, whenever I started on this journey of like I want to expand, I didn't really want to go out and get a marketing agent per se because I wanted to be one of those people that like I'm doing so much that somebody's coming to me.
Correct.
So I was like, you know what? Who has been in my life that I feel like could kind of take on a marketing manager? Yeah. And so and Paul, he'll vouch for this. So I randomly hit Paul up one day and I'm like, hey, so Paul, I'm on this plan. And I call it like my after basketball life plan. I was like, so I want to be popping and I'm going to start doing stuff to make myself popping, but I want you to also figure out some stuff that can make me pop too and get my name out there and be doing different things. And he's like, really? Okay, yeah, I'm down. And I was like, but let me just tell you this right now. I believe in positive energy and positive vibes. You got to keep a certain level of high energy, speaking into existence. And he literally was like, you really believe in that? I'm like, firmly. So no lie, as we're going on stuff, like I'll talk about something, I'm like, it'd be cool if I could do this, that, or third. Boom, here comes the WNBA calling me to like be in the WNBA video. Then he starts to see it. So I'm like, Paul, you still don't believe in energy? He's like, he's like, no, I'm sold. He's like, I'm sold now. But I really believe that you can speak things into your life, bad or good. So that's why I choose to.
Kevin Hart. That's why I talked to him.
That's why I talked to Tyler Perry. We've been talking to people on this show, but I firmly believe that you can speak your life because whatever you think and whatever you're thinking about and whatever you're saying, that's the kind of energy you bring in. So he's been great. And there's another guy that I brought in. His name is Brian, but it's just two guys where like, look, we started from the baseline and we're just going to see what we can make happen. And who knew, like Paul's got me deals, sponsorships. Eat Clean Bro. I don't know if you guys know that, but like it started in Connecticut and New Jersey area, New York, and now they've just moved to Atlanta. But I mean, just like not just like regular sponsorships, like a big time sponsorship where I can order food every week, like meal prep, all that. Yeah, so it's just, I mean, he's been incredible, and it's funny because like we just started with nothing. Yeah. You know what I mean? You just started with like a dream. Like it just started like, this is what I want and let's see what happens. Exactly. And a lot has been happening.
But and that's why I was just going to thank you because I think what happens is once you, and he said it to me, because we were, to be 100% transparent.
Let's hear it.
We were like, oh my goodness, is this gonna? Because we had to look for the venue, all the situations.
I told Paul, I said, Paul, I'm not in it. You just figure it out. I told him that.
So we're going through and we're like, oh my goodness, is she gonna be a prima donna when she all the different things, right? So I'm hitting up Paul like, I text her, she didn't text me back. What's going on, Paul? And he's like, when you guys meet, he said, I know your personality.
Yeah.
And I know her. When you guys meet up, it'll work out fine.
Yeah.
And 100% she was right. Because we feel.
Yeah.
So I know the reason why when Paul gets you a gig or when you land in front of somebody, just because you have the personality and the bubbling, the high energy and the genuine caring for people, when somebody sees that, if they're a good person too, they're gonna gravitate in whatever they're gonna help you to go to the next level.
Appreciate that. I appreciate that, and that's why I really. But I always want to give people my best because I always think if this was my project, whether how small or big it is, and it's whatever you're doing for somebody, that's their baby. Like that's their project, that's their dream, that's their hope. So I'm not gonna come on to here and be like, yeah, what's good? I had a long day. I traveled today. I had a dinner. They had me talking to people. What's good? It's 9 o'clock at night. What's good? You know, because this
Huskies are on.
my Huskies are on. Like what time? You know what I mean? Because like that's your baby, and I wouldn't want anybody to treat my dream, my baby that way. So I always like move. Like if that were mine, I wouldn't want nobody coming on my show doing that. Like like y'all took the time to come out here, and thank you guys for even flying out here. Like that's that's big time, you know. So I wouldn't want nobody treat my baby like that. So I always just like keep that in, no matter how small it is. If it's a podcast and he has 4 followers, we gonna do it. We gonna make it. We gonna make it do what it do. You I always just try to treat like however I would want to be done, I would be done. So I would do it. So but yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Love it. Listen, travelers, man, we've come to the end of another show now. Listen, we didn't even like really lay out who's sitting here because we really didn't want that to distract, the message that we wanted to come from her. But we're talking to a 2-time WNBA champion. We're talking to a record holder in the WNBA. We're talking to a college champion in one of the most renowned organizations in the NCAA. And she came today, and you get to hear her heart, what she's doing on and off the floor. And we hope that the message that really resonated with you today was that be prepared. Yeah. Be prepared. You don't know when your time is coming. You don't know what opportunity is going to be the opportunity. You don't know when you're going to be tested. You have no idea. But if you take the time to just do what you can, control what you can control. We say it all the time.
Control the controllables. That's what I say.
Yeah. Be prepared so that when you walk into these situations, if anything goes out of whack, hey, listen, you can easily pivot, right?
Yeah.
But you can't make up something on the fly and work at an high effective level. So Renee, we thank you so much for being here with us. Really appreciate you. Wish you all the best.
Thank you. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Y'all come to the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Listen, I'm gonna just say I'm shooting with a guy's ball. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm telling you now, I don't know what's gonna happen. Put that disclaimer out there because they're gonna be like, well, they had that Renee on there. It's good. She's working on life after basketball. Glad she's working on life after basketball. No, but I had a good time. Seriously, I had a good time.
Love it.
Hey, travelers, once again, check out our YouTube page, The Success Journey Show. The thing that we make it easy is that all our handles are The Success Journey Show. Go on there, lock in. Once you watch this and you listen to this, it's going to be on audio and it's also going to be visual. So if you want to transfer over to YouTube, go ahead and do that. Like, subscribe, put that notification bell on, and keep it locked. The Success Journey Show.
And also, Renee, share some information for them to find you at.
Oh, okay. I'm the 21. Which camera should I look at? Because they got multiple cameras in here. You know what I'm saying? I got a mic on. They doing some things. So which camera?
Go right
here.
here.
All right. So you can follow me. I'm Renee Montgomery at the 21. It's DA. The number's 20. The word 1 ONE. The same on Instagram, Twitter. So yeah, I'm pretty social. I try to. I need to take a photo with y'all so I can say that,
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
So when I post this happened or whatever. So yeah, I'm pretty social. Just y'all following their journey. If you want to hop on, follow mine too. I'm with it. If you don't, okay. I'm not gonna force you. Okay.
Love it. Well, travelers, followers, listeners, whatever it may be, like Marlon said, go to our platforms. Whatever platform you listen to, leave a like, leave a comment. We just want to know your thoughts, man. We're on this journey with you. We're not doing this on our own. We're not trying to show you, this is where we're going here, we're going there, talking to this person, that person. No, we're doing this all to inspire you to get to where you want to be, helping you to your destination. But we come to the end of another show, and we'll see you next time at the same place at the Success Journey Show. All right, everyone, have a good one. Peace.
One love.
You've been listening to The Success Journey Show, where your dreams, drive, determination, and diligence are the foundation to success. For more information, check out thesuccessjourneyshow.com. The Journey Squad is here helping you to your destination.